Welcome everybody to another business Q&A. I'm excited to be back. We're gonna play some League of Legends. Let me adjust my camera there a little bit. We're gonna play some League of Legends, answer your business questions, and here we go. It's a happy Tuesday. Ready to continue our winning streak. Rishi Cup TV back in the house. Welcome back.
I'm grateful to be in the house.
What's in the cup
today?
How's
everybody doing? Today I'm really cup of excited. I feel like Evan, I need to think of more interesting things to say, but I am. I'm just a cup of excited to be here, and I'm also drinking my Ustelo Spanish coffee. This is a trend, just like our winning streak.
Oh wow! All right, though let's continue it on. I hope we don't disappoint there on that. I love it. Yeah, I just had my water. I had my vitamins. I got my water. I'm ready to do some entrepreneur stuff. We got J-Rise in the game. We're queuing up to try to find a match. And let's do it. Let's get to some questions.
You don't have any tea today? No messages on your tea?
I have this new... I haven't said it yet, but Jay bought me some new awesome nettle tea. And nettle tea is good for controlling allergies.
Got it.
But there's no messages on this one, so I'd rather have the health benefit over the message.
the wisdom.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe the next batch. Rishi Cup can come up with the quote wisdom Zen wisdom of the day.
Well, it makes me think with this whole cup thing. Maybe I need to create my own tea product.
Teabag wisdom.
Teabag love.
Type that in there. Let's see. Teabag wisdom. Do a Google search and let's find something quick. Teabag wisdom. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Open up to infinity and you become infinity. There you go. Open up to infinity and you become infinity. All right. I feel like we should start with the Rishi quote of the morning.
That would be fun. I'm so not someone who I love quotes absolutely, but I don't follow quotes on Twitter or anything. Do you do that? Is there quotes that you daily look at every day?
There'll be some that we I'll post a bunch. I'll post some that I find interesting and inspiring on my Twitter account and Facebook. But it's okay. We don't have to use those ones. I like. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if you feel inspired tomorrow for a Rishi quote of the morning.
Okay.
Rishi quote of the morning.
Right.
Coffee and quotes with Rishi.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool. Well, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. First question is coming from Avinash, and Avinash says, "Hey Evan, I'm really stuck in my career and life, not knowing where to head next, and worse, not knowing how to find out. I need guidance to break free and come out of it. Could you help me?" Okay. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this, Evan, actually, because I was thinking about some practical skills to get unstuck. And I think that a lot of us feel stuck, and I think it's definitely complex. But I think one of the first things I would say, just on a practical level, is when you're stuck, you feel frustrated because you want to see more momentum, and so that can, in a lot of us, that can create this kind of urgency to go and do, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I think that could be at different times the right strategy. But the first thing that came to mind is when you're feeling stuck, one of the best things I think you can do is just kind of get still, turn out all the noise, and I don't know if you like to journal, I don't know if you like to just sit and ponder and contemplate. I don't know if you like to pray or meditate, but there's just different things you can do to kind of connect more deeply. And I think sometimes you get stuck when you're kind of running without a vision, running without clear purpose. You're not connected to who you are. And so, I don't know, I just think it might seem counterproductive to not just go out and do something, but I think it is important that before you do that next thing to get still and kind of get refocused on who you are, what you want to do, and kind of your why. Like, why am I going to do this, whatever this next thing that I'm going to do is. So those are some hopefully practical steps.
For me, I think it starts with, do you have something that you want to do? Do you have, I've always wanted to X. I've always wanted to go salsa dancing. Or I've always wanted to launch a website. Or I've always wanted to build an app. Or I've always wanted to play guitar. Or whatever it is. Even if it doesn't make sense. I would never have thought that I would invest in and later acquire North America's largest salsa dancing school when I first walked into a salsa dancing class, right?
Yeah.
I would never have expected that. But I wanted to learn how to dance. It was just something interesting to do. And at the same time as I did that, I did, 20 other things that I didn't continue with. And that's okay. So it's finding within yourself, is there something that you want to do, and then finding some small way to get started without putting so much expectations on it. I think people set themselves up for failure because they put too high expectations on themselves. Like, I'm going to go in, and that first class has to be amazing, and this has to be my next business opportunity, and this has to be the thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, or I'm not going to do it. So there's so much pressure on that first day that then you quit and move on to something else, where that could have been an amazing thing. And so for the people who know what they want to do, for sure, then go out and chase that. And you may have a whole bunch of limiting beliefs around why you can't, but it doesn't sound like it's the case here. It doesn't know what the next thing is to do. So I would start by thinking about what are some of the things that I've always wanted to do, that I have an interest in. I did this when I sold my business. When I sold my first company, I didn't. There was this big hole in my heart. What do I do next? It was a great problem to have. I'm not complaining about it, but it was still a problem in that I didn't have a clear plan of what I wanted to do next, and was I don't want to say depressed, but as someone who likes having plans and likes knowing what they're doing, that was
yes.
That was not a great place to be in for me. And one of the things I wanted to learn about was venture capital. I never needed to raise venture capital for my company, but I wanted to learn about it, and I ended up connecting with a venture capital company and learning the ropes. And I was there for a couple of years, and it was interesting, and I enjoyed it. At the same time, I started doing, more salsa dancing, getting more active in it. I started doing public speaking. And I did a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't even remember that didn't stick. And so it's just exploring the things you've always wanted to do in a small way and seeing how much you like it without putting the pressure on it having to work out. Just like if you go on a first date with someone, it doesn't have to be that person you're going to marry yet. You're going to set yourself up for failure if that you have to decide after the first date if you're going to marry somebody. If you have no idea, you don't know what you want, like there's zero inclination, there's nothing you've always wanted to do, even to try, you feel totally lost, then I would say just start exposing yourself to more opportunities. Just say yes to a whole bunch of stuff. Adopt the mindset of that you'll try anything once. It's a good mindset to have in general. Try anything once, whether it's a new activity, whether it's going to a new place, whether it's trying a new food. You're unhappy and feel stuck because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So saying yes to things, even if you judge them initially as being not for you and having no interest in it, just saying yes and trying things until you find something that you do want to, you know, go back and do it again. You know, I really love that spicy Indian food. Let me go back and try some more of it, or maybe I'll go cook some of it on my own, and you know, that leads you down this path. And you'll find that you hate a lot of the stuff, or it's not interesting for you. You know, you don't like, you know, snowboarding or whatever it is that you try. So be open, say yes. Adopt the mindset of trying anything once until you find the thing that you want to do again and again and again and again because you love it. That's what I got.
Great.
So I have Timo Jungle. J-Rise has Rise Mid. We have somebody in our game with us who also has Smite on, so they want to go jungle. That's weird. I don't know how that's going to happen. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But I like that question. Thank you. Thank you for writing in, and I hope you're okay.
Awesome. All right. Next question is coming from Ben, and I was going to say last name. I don't think I'm going to. Ben says he's 21 years old, college student, started as a freelance animator 6 months ago, and right now he's making about $200 a month using freelancer.com for contests. And he's been to one networking event to test the waters, and he's happy to see that many people were interested about having animated videos on their website. But he didn't pick up any sales because he just started and he did not have much impressive stuff to show them. Now he's almost done putting together his business cards, demo reel, website, and he's looking to be hitting networking events hard to get sales.
Attention.
Oh, hold on. We have an attention.
This is Arthur Fire Protection.
Fire protection.
We'll now be conducting our monthly fire alarm testing.
We always, well, I guess it's a monthly thing, right? We can expect it once a month.
Yeah.
We'll hear some nice beeps. We'll have to work around the beeps.
Okay.
Nothing yet. I don't remember this happening every month, but I guess it does. It said monthly, so I mean, it's a good thing. I think last time it happened during our gratitude stream, didn't it? Or was it during the league game?
No, it happened here. This is like the second time.
Attention. May I have your attention, please? This is Arthur Fire Protection. We will now be conducting our monthly fire alarm testing, so please disregard any fire alarm signals you may encounter. Thank you.
Alright, well, it looks like a guy is playing, trying to play jungle at the same time as me, which is not great. I don't know what's happening.
Hilarious.
I queued up as jungle. Zin was top. Alright, well, Alex is here to help alleviate. Whoa! Don't break it! Don't break it! Alright, okay, yes, we'll see. So networking events, he's got all this stuff, he's gonna go to networking events, and then?
Okay, so now he has 5 questions. He said it's fine if you want to do rapid fire responses, but he's got 5 questions he'd love to hear from you. And just a heads up, actually, Ben it's super cool because in one of our previous episodes, we had a funny conversation. I don't know if you guys listening remember when we were talking about don't steal your mama's car. He then went out and created a meme from that live chat, and it was really clever. It said, don't sell your mama's car was the meme that he created. So anyway, that was cool that he gave value there.
Oh, it's don't sell your mama's car. I heard don't steal your mama's car.
I think I thought it was steal, but it's sell. Don't sell your mama's car.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Questions. So what are we starting off with?
Yeah, do you want me to, in this case, answer them rapid fire, or do you want me to just give them to you and you can do rapid fire?
Let's do. Rishi brings the value too. Let's do it. Let's go one at a time.
I love Evan's confidence in my value. right. How should I approach someone I have never met before? Should the conversation be about me or about them? All right. Well, actually, I'm just going to say that you already approached Evan and myself the way that I would have done it if it was wanting to kind of create opportunity for conversation, and that was you added value. You listened to something that we did, and then you created a really funny meme that showed your skills but added value. And so I feel like that would be a great thing to keep doing in terms of creating opportunities. Is whatever you're doing, whether it's a conversation about you or someone else, more importantly, just add value.
Yeah, nobody wants to be sold to, but everybody wants solutions to their problems, and the only way to find out those problems is to listen to them.
Yes, nice. You said that yesterday, Evan.
That's all I do here. You know, I just rehash my old answers.
No. It was good. No, but about selling, you know, we were talking about selling yesterday, and you were saying, you know, too many people just sell, they don't listen.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Number 2, how should they pay me? Hourly, lump sum up front, lump sum at the end, or in stages? I would just say it's totally dependent on the relationship, whether you're a contractor or you're going to end up being employed for a company. It's going to depend on the relationship. But in the meantime, I would definitely, since you're already doing contract work on Freelancer, I would start talking to other people doing what you do and see what's worked for them in terms of setting it up.
I would definitely not do lump sum at the end. It's too easy to get ripped off by a client. So that I would immediately take off the table. In terms of, you know, setting the deal, ideally you get paid up front for everything. Doesn't typically happen in the industry. You would have to really command their respect to be able to do it. So I would think if you're at the starting stages of this, I'd be looking at doing half up front and half upon delivery, or a third up front, a third upon, you know, approval of concept, and then a third at the end. You don't want to, oh, let me just buy my stuff here. It's too risky. It's too risky to just get it all at the end. In case they bail on you, you've done a ton of work, and it's super unlikely that they're going to want to pay you everything up front. But hey, if you can get that, that's a solid deal.
Nice. Okay. Number 3, what type of business do you think would benefit from having new animated videos produced for them on a regular basis? And literally, my answer would just be any types of businesses. It's interesting. There's like opportunity, even with some businesses that you would think are unlikely to want your services may really be open to it. You never know what stage a business is in, if they're trying to do new things. And obviously, video is huge for most businesses at this stage. So I wouldn't exclude anyone from potential clients.
I love it. J-Rise and I got a kill. Good job. Woo, woo.
Woo, woo.
Loving that. I think much more than a specific type of industry to target, you're looking for a mindset. So I want somebody who cares about online marketing, who values it, who's done some work already on their website, maybe not have done video before, but do a lot of, you know, are a little bit more socially minded. Like they're active on Facebook, they're active on, you know, Twitter. They care about their brand, and that could be any industry. So I wouldn't just, oh, I missed that guy. Holy cow. It's much more the mindset than just the industry that he's looking for.
Great. All right, number 4. What positions at a company are responsible for the decision making around animated videos?
What was the question?
Again,
what
positions at a
Okay.
Yeah, like who's the one who's deciding if there should be animated videos or not, you know?
Right.
And I do think, again, you just never know until you just start knocking on doors. I mean, if you could say the obvious, like who's in charge of social media, you know, who's in charge of some of the marketing and that type of thing, but you just never know if maybe a certain department is specifically trying to do something new. And so you just never know, but I guess maybe the obvious would be marketing and that sort of thing.
Yeah, again, it's more the mindset of the person. You know, marketing is an easy one, but it could also be just internal communications. You know, it could be a company has a board meeting coming up and they want a video to showcase their results. You know, it's much more about the mindset of the person than it is the specific position they're in. Because you could just say, hey, okay, anybody who's in marketing, I'm gonna target, and maybe that's gonna be a good fit, but. You know, I look at a good buddy of mine who's built a $1 million business plus in the video production world, you know, traditional videos, but also web videos. And most of his stuff is internal communications. It's not externally focused. It's just for people to explain their message to other people inside the company. So you never know. The thing that I would add to it, which maybe add to the last question, is I would also try to pick an industry or a company that you like. If I have my choice of companies to work for or work with, it would be someone that I know something a little bit about and I like their business, as opposed to just any random company, because you'll get along better. You know, if you love food,
sure,
you'll do really well with restaurants, right? If you can go in and talk about their food and how much you love food and what they're all about, you'll do a lot. Whoa, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? I'm not gonna die. You'll have more fun, and they'll be more receptive to your message than if you're going in trying to sell to, you know, stockbrokers and you have zero interest in stocks. You know, so if you had to pick, if trade show is going to be your model and you have to pick what you're going to do, I would try to pick something where you have a little bit of passion and domain expertise around too.
Would you think at this stage, Evan, it is important for him to also be thinking about values and those things as well, besides the actual industry?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it starts with you understanding what your values are and then bringing that to the business. And there'll be companies that you naturally are attracted to. You know, you've bought their products before, you've worked with some of their people before, maybe as a client, as a customer. You know, think about the people you have a great relationship with who have businesses, whether it's a real estate agent that you love working with, or, you know, whoever it is, somebody that you get along with well and you feel like you share similar kinds of values. That's going to be really important. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I'm grateful for Alex to help me, although it doesn't seem to be working. Is it working, Alex?
The button is broken.
The button's broken?
We've tested it. We pushed it too many times.
You pushed it too many times. Well, that's awkward. You guys get to hear some amazing beeps. Oh, there we go.
Time.
Thank you, Alex. Much love, Alex. We're creating a stressful morning for Alex. All right. What's next?
Great. Did you get to finish your thought?
Yeah, I liked it. That was a good
Okay.
thought.
I liked it too. All right. Last question is, should I wear a t-shirt that says, I am Ben, I make cartoons, benscartoons.com?
I like it. Anyway, go ahead, Rishi.
Hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that if you're going to be going to like a big event or something, if it helps identify you in the mass amount of people, but I wouldn't say it's unnecessary. But if you can do that for an event, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't go try to make like thousands of them, and then they sit in your closet. I have to shout him out too because I do know that he's from San Fran, so I just have to plug that the West Coast is the best coast.
That is a huge lie. But we do love our West Coast friends. We do love our West Coast friends. So I like the creativity. I think having something like my initial reaction was to laugh. I think you have to do something that fits your personality. It sounds like this is, and it's a fun talking point. So there's a lot of like you don't have to have T-shirts to have success at events, but I like it. I like the flair.
Mhm.
It's different.
Absolutely. That's it then, Evan, for our San Francisco buddy.
Oh, is that it? Okay, that's the end of.
That was the question.
Those are the 5 questions. We have.
Your game.
Alex is back.
Your game is getting so hot.
The game is getting so hot that our answers are on fire, Rishi. Our answers are on fire. I like it.
Yeah.
It's the new sound effects in League of Legends, you know, it's this fire alarm.
Cool. All right, well, good luck, Ben. Right, Evan?
Good luck. Team, we just got a double kill. Excited about that.
Good. Okay, next question coming from Joshua. Joshua has a couple questions as well. He says, I am most grateful for your quick response. It was just a perfect impression. I think this might have been you might have responded to a previous question. It's my pleasure to meet your company. Your YouTube videos are just, woo, bravo. Thanks for taking your time to read my mail. Very big thanks.
Wait, how did he spell
super grateful.
How is woo spell? I'm curious.
Why are you asking?
I'm just curious. I like the like dramatic emphasis you put on it, and now I'm wondering how did he spell it?
Well, it's so funny because I'm looking back. I read woo, but it's probably really woe because I just noticed there's an H at the end.
Okay, so I like
so
it.
He spelled W-O-O-O-H. Whoa. So it probably should have said, your YouTube videos are just whoa, bravo.
All right, I like that.
Because only Evan can correct my spelling issues.
No, I wasn't trying to correct. I was just curious. I really liked the love that you put into that. So I was curious as to how it was spelled.
No, that's great. So he then has, so he's super grateful and excited, and so he has 3 follow-up questions.
Okay.
So
we're getting a lot of these multi-part questions today.
I know. Number 1, do I have to obtain my patent registration first, making headway for production of my product? So this is in regards to, he asked a question previously about patenting. Do you have to obtain your patent registration first before making headway on the production of my product? And I would say no. You can, I mean, you obviously wouldn't want to go on the market without the patent, but you can go forward with the production. Is that correct, Evan?
Yeah, as long as it's not commercially available for sale, then you can get a patent. Once you're already selling it, then you can only patent improvements that are made to it.
Okay. He says number 2, the patent registration in Nigeria does it have jurisdiction over other countries, or do I get patent registration to any country I wish to do business in?
Haha. I wish.
Yeah.
So what happens is you can get a provisional patent with that gives you international exposure or coverage protection for 1 year, in which you have that 1 year to commercialize, and those are relatively cheaper than getting a full patent, and it gives you a year. So that's your chance to see, hey, does my invention, does it make money? Is it going to work? Should I keep going with it? After that, sometimes you can get an extension on it for another year, but really after that you have to, I'm just making the decision here, you have to get it in each country. Every country has fees, and their annual maintenance fees too. So you have to pay every year for that patent to be alive in in whatever country you want to go to. And different countries have different rates, and yeah, you have to pay every year. So I don't know what I don't know what the rate in Nigeria is, but you could cover Nigeria, but then somebody in Ghana could go and do it, or somebody in America could go and do it using your exact patent. And it happens a lot, because for a patent to happen, you have to make your invention publicly known. So you have to tell people what it is exactly that you're doing. So that makes it easy for somebody to copy what you're doing if you don't have the protection. So yeah, it's a big deal. So you have that 1 year window to really go out and do something special, and hope it works, man. Patents are really, and I was also thinking, like, do you need a patent? Depends on what you're trying to do. Patents really just give you the ability to sue. Doesn't mean people aren't going to do it. People aren't going to steal your idea, but if they do, you could sue them. And so you're not actually probably going to sue them. But if you want to sell to a big company, as an example, then that's a patent is a great way to be able to protect your intellectual property.
Yeah. Cool. And then the last question is, it says, if I sell my product in Nigeria to a particular company, can I still sell it to another company in African countries or like America?
If he sells the product in Nigeria, can he still sell it in other countries? Is that the question?
Right. So if he has a patent for it in Nigeria, does that limit him to sell to companies in Nigeria, or can he go outside to other African countries or like America?
Yeah, the patent won't make. The patent is just to defend it. It doesn't mean that you can't go out.
Okay.
But the only thing to think about is that any trade regulations, those kinds of things. You can't just import, or you can't just export any product to the U.S. It has to. They might have laws around it. They definitely have taxes around it. That kind of stuff you have to figure out. But the patent has nothing to do with your ability to sell it in a market.
Cool. All right, and that's it. Good luck.
And good luck.
Someone said good luck to me the other day, and I was like offended. I'm like, oh boy.
They said good luck to you, and you were offended?
Somewhat. Well, I realized that the reason good luck kind of hits me differently is it somewhat has this, like, I know when you say it doesn't, but like it has this thing of like, good luck, like, I don't know why. Maybe that's like an American thing, but like I feel like when you say good luck to somebody, it can have another tone of like, have fun trying that. That's really not going to work.
So sad.
That could be an American thing, though. I'm realizing. Jaded American thing.
Jaded American thing.
Yeah. Never mind. Moving on. Okay. We actually got a question in the live chat going on.
Okay.
So, Optosource Book says, question. You got me thinking. And this could be related to the previous question. So, let's see. Relaunch is so much harder than I think. I have a company that has been with me since 1994, minus the 8 years on hold. He said in person at a convention, don't worry, I will support you. I am having a real hard time now because everyone wants analytics and everyone is downgrading, so I must make him eat his words. He sent me 3 ads. So should I charge him for the three ads at full price, half off, or free? Part of me wants to give him the 3 ads free, but that's a lot of money. But nothing compared to what it costs to advertise an organization or having a booth at an exhibit. I think this is in regards to the question with, going out and kind of the freelance question from the animator. I think this might be in regards to that. So question is about ads, selling 3 ads for full price, half off, or free. Do you have enough information for this, Evan, or do I need to get more? Because I know it's a little bit hard for me to follow.
I'm confused. Like she has a magazine or what? What's she selling ads for?
Okay, yeah. Please put that in the chat. I'm reading now. So I'm reading. It sounds like she's trying to get the business going. The business has been on hold. I still don't know what specifically the ads are for, but it sounds like she's coming out of a kind of a latent period in her business and now is relaunching. And so the question is, when you're in that place of relaunch, should you give people deals or, should you do it for half as much or for free? Like, what's the best strategy when you're trying to get things off the ground again?
Okay.
But I'm still waiting for more information about what the ads would be. I would want to know more, and specific to the ads, I don't know. Like, there are particulars definitely that would influence this, but I'd say anytime you're back in the beginning stages of wanting to get momentum, there will be somewhat of a compromise because you have to reestablish yourself to a certain extent. And so I think there must be at least some willingness to be flexible so that you can start getting momentum again. She says, I have a book that has gone all over the world. He also started... Yeah. So Optosource, if you could just tell us what specifically the ads are for.
All right.
Evan, do you have anything input at this point?
If I'm looking to restart a business, I would look at, one, can I connect with old clients that know me, like me, trust me, I've worked with before, so I can hopefully get a quick boost back in. I would also try to look at why it didn't work before. Like, why did you stop it? Is there anything can be learned from that so you don't do the same thing as you did before? And did you stop because you were bored, or you didn't have the passion anymore, or whatever the reason was, just so that you don't make those same mistakes again. But you've started this business already. I'd try to learn from that success without knowing the specifics. That's kind of general advice that hopefully can help.
Okay. Yeah, it says I'm going to actually take the time to read more of your comments off the source, so I'm going to come back around if I can find a more helpful way to answer your question. Does that sound good to you, Evan?
Yep.
Okay. Next question comes from Song. Hello there. I'm Song from Malaysia. I want to know if it's possible to start a travel agency business with zero experience. Do you have advice or tips for me? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. So, travel agency business, I don't think would be unlike any other business in that to start, I would at least want to have some knowledge of the industry. So I wouldn't just do these make these huge giant steps in launching your business. I would do some testing, I would do some researching, I would be maybe working part-time for a travel agency so that you can start to get some background and experience. So I don't think it's wrong to just start on some level, but I wouldn't start on a level that's so big that you find out after you start getting experience that you don't love it, or that you don't have enough knowledge to make it work. But yeah, I mean, I think people do start businesses all the time without a lot of experience. What do you think, Evan?
Well, like we keep talking about over and over and over on the channel, your success in business will be from providing value. If the challenge is, if you don't have, you can have passion for an industry, you can have passion for traveling, but if you don't know the business, you have zero experience, then it's going to be hard for you to provide value in the early stages, and so it's going to be hard for you to have success as an entrepreneur. That doesn't mean you have to work in the industry for forever, and you can try to do something in a new way that hasn't been done before, which is all awesome. Just that if you want to have success and you don't know the industry, it's going to be hard for you to make it. So that's what I would be looking for, trying to get some experience while doing my own thing, whatever that whatever that own thing looks like for you. Like, what do you love about the travel agency? What's a unique spin that you can bring to it? And try to get a job where I'm learning. Maybe you want to be like the travel agent themselves. Maybe you want to be a travel blogger. Maybe you want to, report on hotels and do reviews. There's a lot of different ways that you can spin it. But just remembering that if you want to have success as an entrepreneur, you have to bring value, and that typically comes from having some sort of experience to know what value is. So maybe you're there yet, maybe you're there, you already know, but maybe you don't, and you got to do a little bit more work to figure it out.
Great. Next question is coming from, how's the game going, Ed?
We are losing 24-33. I am 6-4, so I have a winning record, but team is losing overall. So we'll see. We'll see if we can turn this thing around. Turn the beat around. Is that how it goes? It's like, is that how it goes? That's way before my time. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but
that was disco style.
It inspired a song.
That's great. All right. Next question is coming from Jared.
Jared.
Yes.
What's up, Jared?
What's up, Jared? Hi, Evan. I just saw one of your videos on how to start your own clothing line. If you see this, I would gladly like for you to message me back with my design I created a year ago. I stopped developing it for a while, and now I want to go back and work on it. It's a fitness clothing line called Go Strong.
Go Strong.
Yeah, so there is no, on this particular message, there is no link to his design. So I'm not exactly sure what he, you know, maybe he sent you another message that I'm not seeing, but it's not here. But I think, yeah, I want to give value. I guess my value would just be, I would like to see your clothing line.
Okay, so he didn't. So there's no design attached there. He's just asking.
Yeah. Yeah, he was inspired by your video. He would love if you know, it says message me back with my design. So I think that was a typo, but.
Okay.
You want to give any feedback for aspiring clothing designers? Or I know that he already saw the video, so I'm sure you already gave great value there.
Yeah. So one, I think it's great to reach out to influencers. I think it's great to have people, you know, hopefully get their audience and have them endorse you and they like it and you know, can spread the message if they have some kind of influential circle. You know, I don't know that my channel is really known for being a fashion channel, so you might want to target other people who are more kind of tastemakers in the fashion world. I'm curious also as to why he stopped. I'm always curious why people stop and then start, and if it's the right thing to do. Like, do you regret that you stopped, or is this just a fallback plan and you're not actually that interested in it? So you don't make the same mistakes again. Like, if it's been a year since you got that business going, why now? And what are you going to do differently this time around so that it works? That you're actually going to stick with it? That you're going to put in the hustle and the effort? So it's always something that I'm curious by when people are restarting businesses.
What do you typically see in that phase? And this goes back to Optosource in the chat, because she's in a position of relaunching. So what do you typically see, Evan, in that, when people are in that stopping and then they restart? What's going on there usually?
I think the main thing is something has to change. If you're not going to do... So the reasons why people would do it, there's a mix. Like, sometimes it's regret, sometimes they wish they just stuck with it, and now they want to make sure that they do it right this time. Sometimes under attack, no. Sometimes it's just because they have nothing else to do. Sometimes it just, you know, they're not happy with the way things are going in their life, and like, you know what, I was kind of happy when I was doing that business, so I'm going to get back to it. But the key thing being each time that it's something that, like, again, it stopped working, you stopped doing it, so something has to be different. Something has to be different this time around that you know, didn't happen last time. So what is that? It's like, you know, it's like getting back together with an ex, you know, right? Like, something has to, there's a reason why you broke up. Why did you break up? Right? And so, and how do you get, what's going to change? Not that it can't work, it's great, like, it can definitely work, just it can't work the same way that you tried last time, because you guys broke up for a reason. So something has to change. You broke up with your business for a reason. Something has to change. So what's going to change? And some people are hyper aware of that, and it's great, and they go off and they make the changes, and other people don't think that way, and that's going to be really hard to get to where you want to go if you don't make the realization.
And a follow-up to that, Evan, when have you been able to say, because sometimes it is hard to let an idea go if it is time to stop and just go on to something else. When have you known it's time to, you know, this is, you know, time to push stop on this and restart on something new?
When I don't love it anymore. That should always be the metric. If you stop loving it, and even if it is having some financial success, if you stop loving it, then you should sell it or give it the, you know, hire somebody to be able to do it with you. But if you still love it and you feel you're going to live with regret, then you have to find a way to keep going, even if it means taking a job and doing something else in the meantime to kind of pay your bills and get by and continue to learn. But when you stop loving something, then that, for me, is always the point where you want to quit and move on. Quitting isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
Quitting on something that you love and is your dream is a bad thing, but quitting on something that you don't have the passion for anymore is great. It's a good decision. You want to quit on that stuff. So I've quit on a lot of stuff, big stuff and little stuff, because I've tested a whole bunch of stuff. So that for me is always the kind of dividing line.
I'm sure you've made a video on that before, but it'd be a great video to hear, just like, because the entrepreneurs are always like, don't stop hustling. But actually, that wouldn't be the truth in your case. There's been lots of times you said, no, it's time to quit this, or it's time to quit that. I'm sure there's a video on it out there already.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with the don't quit mantra in general. It's a good rule, and I don't want people to twist it the wrong way now. It's definitely, you know, it's definitely a good thing. I think a lot of people just quit too soon. And I think that's why that's become such a, you know, mantra in the entrepreneur world, because most people do quit too soon. They give up on their idea. They don't have success, and it's hard. You know how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. It's a hard thing to do.
The worst case scenario, think of that, it's worse than that. I love it when you say that.
The worst case, what do I say?
Because whatever you think is the worst thing that could happen,
oh, it's going to be worse
than that.
Yeah, it is, that's true. It is, it's true. It is true.
This is why you don't want me to do quotes. I sometimes mess them up.
Hey, we won. They surrendered.
Woo!
Good game. Good game.
GG.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Entrepreneurship is, it sucks. I've been through all the hard times too, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have it worse, and people have had it way worse than me, and way worse than you too. I got an S. Haha. I had 8 kills, 4 deaths. J-Rise had 6 kills, 7 deaths. And we won! So the streak continues.
Yes, the streak continues.
The streak continues. Alright. So, Rishi thought to close us off with words of wisdom. Rishi thought of the day is...
I will just say that it is that no one cup of you.
Cup of
and
you.
what I mean by
right.
that, cup of you, in that like so much of these questions today still come back to, you know, really being aware of what it is that you want to do and taking action on that. So I know that's simple, but it's true.
Cup of you. Cup of you. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been great to have you here. I hope you guys go out and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Go make something amazing happen. We believe in you, so we hope that you continue to believe, or cup, or whatever your one word is. And we'll see you soon.